30 frequently asked questions and answers about Brazil's digital nomad visa. What is Brazil's digital nomad visa? Officially called the Vitem 14, this type of visa authorizes a working non-Brazilian from outside the Mercosur area to live and work remotely from Brazil for a limited period of time. It was introduced in 2022. Who is eligible for the Brazil Digital Nomad Visa? Any non-Brazilian who is not a citizen of a Mercosur country that can prove they do not have a criminal record and whose job allows them to work remotely from Brazil may be eligible for this type of visa or residency. How long is the digital nomad visa valid in Brazil? This visa is by law issued for 1 year only. It is only issued or renewed for 1 year at each application. Can the digital nomad visa be extended? Yes. By law, renewal or extension is allowed for another 1 year. In practice, however, there have been reports about a second renewal. What are the income requirements for the visa? The applicant must demonstrate a recurring minimum income of $1,500 per month or a saving of $18,000. Either way, the active job must be linked to this income. Do I need health insurance for the digital nomad visa? Yes, a Brazilian consulate will demand for proof of health insurance, not just a regular travel insurance that covers Brazil. This is, however, not a requirement if one is applying for the digital nomad residency from within Brazil itself. What is the difference between digital nomad visa and digital nomad residency? The visa is what is applied for from outside Brazil. Residency is what is applied for from within Brazil itself. Some Brazilian embassies or consulates do not process the digital nomad visa. Where this is the case, an applicant can enter Brazil with a qualifying document and apply for the residency from within Brazil itself. Can I work for a Brazilian company with this visa? No. Working for a Brazilian company is not allowed. This visa or residency is issued so the holder can work remotely for a non-Brazilian company from within the territory of Brazil. Where there is a change in circumstance, it is advised to seek legal counsel that can lead to another application for the right residency that can permit working for a Brazilian company. What documents are required to apply for the visa? This depends on the location of the application, but typically the following are required: a filled online application, a work contract between the applicant and the non-Brazilian company, a travel passport that is valid for the duration of the visa and has a minimum of 2 blank pages, 2 recent passport photographs, an apostilled birth certificate with a sworn translation if it is not in Portuguese language, a criminal record or police clearance certificate from the applicant's place of primary residence, proof of finances, usually 3 months bank statement showing a stable income of $1,500 per month or a bank balance of 18,000 US dollars. Proof of medical health insurance valid for the entire stay in Brazil. Again, not just a travel insurance. How do I apply for the Brazil Digital Nomad Visa? Consult the websites of the Brazilian embassy or consulate in your country for the specific requirements and then prepare a solid application based on that. Considering the complexities involved, it is usually a good idea to consult a credible law firm before applying for this type of visa or residency. Where can I apply for the visa? From outside Brazil, one has to apply at the nearest Brazilian embassy or consulate. From inside Brazil, the application starts online and the papers have to be submitted to the nearest Polícia Federal Immigration Office. The specific procedure can vary from state to state within Brazil itself. How much does the Digital Nomad Visa application cost? The fees would vary depending on the location of the application. How long does it take to process the visa application? This depends on the location of the application and can vary from 1 week to 3 months. Can I bring my family on this visa? This type of visa is not as robust as the other visas that lead to residency in Brazil. The chances of bringing a full family based on this visa only is not very high. It may be best for the family to apply for other visas they qualify for, like work or study visas. Is there a criminal record check required? Yes, a criminal record or police reports is required from the applicant's country of origin or residence. A criminal record check is also done within Brazil itself. Where there is a serious criminal record, a digital nomad visa may not be approved. What is the minimum passport validity required? 1 year. Do I need to register with the federal police once in Brazil? Yes. If the digital nomad visa was approved outside Brazil, the applicant needs to apply for the residency card with the Polícia Federal Immigration Office within 30 days of being in Brazil. Can I travel in and out of Brazil with this visa? Yes. The residency card is issued for 1 year, and this allows the holder to enter and exit Brazil within the validity of the card. What happens if my visa application is denied? An appeal of the decision may be possible. To improve the chances of a better outcome, it is better to consult a qualified lawyer that specializes in Brazilian immigration law for assistance with this. Is there a tax obligation for digital nomads in Brazil? Any resident who has lived in Brazil for more than 183 days in a rolling 365-day period is liable to file tax returns in Brazil. It's advisable to consult a tax attorney for this. Can I apply for a permanent residency with this visa? No. The digital nomad residency does not lead to permanent residency as of February 2025. Is there an age limit for applying for the digital nomad visa? This visa is typically available to any qualified non-Brazilian within working age. What languages do I need to know to apply? There are no specific expectations of language. Considering Brazilian Portuguese is the predominant language in Brazil, however, it would be expedient for the non-Brazilian to learn the language to improve their lifestyle while living in Brazil. Can I study in Brazil while working on this visa? While it may be okay to study short courses while living in Brazil, a study permit will be more ideal and suitable towards longer courses. What are the visa's renewal conditions? The digital nomad residency holder needs to continue to meet the qualifying requirements for original residency, including financial requirements. Where this is the case, renewals are typically straightforward. Do I need to prove accommodation in Brazil? A proof of accommodation needs to be presented at the time of application. Can I own property in Brazil with this visa? Yes, depending on the value of the property. However, a permanent residency option can be considered where the value of the property meets the threshold of $250,000. Where can I live in Brazil? A digital nomad residency holder can live in any part of Brazil, but these cities are typically popular among digital nomads living in Brazil. Recife, Curitiba, Goiânia, Rio de Janeiro, Vitória, Porto Alegre, Brasília, Jundiaí, Sao Paulo, Belo Horizonte, Florianópolis, Natal, Belém, Itajaí, João Pessoa, Campinas, Salvador, Trancoso, Pipa, and Fortaleza. What vaccinations are required for the digital nomad visa? No vaccinations are directly required for this type of visa. Can I participate in local business activities with this visa? No. The visa is specifically intended for working remotely in Brazil for a non-Brazilian company.